Hey guys, it's me again. I think I'm really getting a hang of this. Yesterday I realized I made a 10 episode. I was actually quite proud of myself. So I cannot believe I actually did 10. So I think my next goal is gonna try to reach 100. Hopefully by then I can talk about something more, interesting, not just vocabulary wise. Anyway, my name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, life coach, and also a psychic. Today I want to talk about the purpose of life. I hope it's not a heavy topic, but anyway, it's just because, so many people always come to me and ask about their purpose of life, and I thought I would make it easier or more simpler for people to understand. As a previous episode, we talked about the soul have a nature of evolution. That means, as a soul, we always continuously seeking for a better way of living or a better way of being. And then we also talk about reincarnation, how we plan the reincarnation based on to fulfill a purpose of life. So the purpose of life is to love. Yes, that too. That could be a purpose of life. Yes. So based on that, the whole reincarnation. So on the previous episode, we talked about how a soul, before they wanna reborn, get into a reincarnation, they first find a purpose of life, and then they plan the things around it. So all the incidents, the obstacle, or things like that, in order to reach that purpose of life. But I guess as I say, our knowledge is as a psychic, our knowledge is largely influenced by our background. And my background, since I was born and raised in Taiwan, our background got a lot of Buddhism background. So since we were a kid, we were told by the society or by this huge religious background is our purpose of life is to do something. Either for people like me who have, psychic skill or something like that, I almost would be labeled right away to help people. I have to go out and help people. I have to do something. I have to, do this or do that. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say here is, growing up in Taiwan, we tend to get influenced by religions and telling us the purpose of life is actually something you have to do. That disregard whatever that thing is, but you're supposed to come to this life and fulfill that something. As I say, this whole journey is quite long for me, and then through the whole studying and digging into it and countless asking why, and just that curiosity of me continue pushing myself to seek for deeper answer. I guess that's why I'm coming today to share with you guys. I come to this point to understand the purpose of life is not actually something you have to do. It's not something you do. It's a way of being. So let me give you an example. As a soul, we know our strength and flaws. So let's say if a soul has got great potential, but didn't really know how to love herself, her potential will never get accelerated. Her potential will never get bring out because she will always living in that story of, I don't love myself enough. So in this case, when you were soul, when you, try to look at yourself and thinking, which area can I improve myself so I can fully bring out my potential, you will most likely plan a life to love yourself. So that is your end goal. Your end goal would be loving yourself. So that would be what I call purpose of life. So based on this end goal, you would plan a platform. That, unfortunately, as I mentioned before too, we don't learn from happiness. We actually learn from obstacle, which is what I would explain how the task of life is gonna work, because they go hand in hand together. So when you in order to reach that goal, you will plan task. That task is almost like to prove how much you really want these things, right? So what I'm here to say is the purpose of life is really not something you have to do, but it's I'm going to break down to 2 questions. I think that would pretty much round it up what the purpose of life really is. If you really want to know what your purpose of life is, this is a question you can ask yourself. You can first ask your question is, what do you want to die as? I'm sorry to those young kids, like, you just born and I ask you to think about dying. But, it's not a bad thing. What I try to say is, how do you want to die as? Let's say you don't know how your life is going to be, how long it's going to be, right? And then you have a goal. Like, we all have that, feeling like I want to live my life. I want to, be loved, or I want to, be happy, or whatever it is. But just right now, the way society we living in is somehow get that sensation clouded, make us believe we need somebody else or something to make that happen for us. That is, if I find a soulmate, I'll be happy. If I make $1 million, I'll be happy. Or if, I have a house, I'll be happy. What I try to say is, when a soul come into this life, planning a life for you as a purpose of your life, that purpose you will be able to carry away when you die. That means, when you die, you will be a happier soul. You will be content. You will learn to love yourself. You will learn to really appreciate yourself. Or, as me, for example, I had longest time fighting this skill I have. I come to this point of my life, start to realize maybe my purpose of life is really accept who I am. Really accepting this skill, like, I don't like, but I now learn to accept it, right? So it's a journey for me. It was a long journey for me, which I think it would be, everybody will have different purpose of life. But, I also believe it would be a hard journey for you all. But I'm just here to say, if we can really focusing on that goal, just really put ourselves in a situation thinking, okay, I come here, have an agenda to achieve. That agenda will have nothing to do with everybody else but me. It's something I know when I die, I can bring that with me. That would become a string in me. That would be something that I know I can bring it with me. So when you really think about that, then you can really almost, what I'm saying, you can almost redesign your life around it. Instead of living in the past and get stopped by all this obstacle, then you start to understand, no, all this obstacle is just there to make sure I want that thing so bad. And I will fight everything to get to that place. So, instead of a lot of people say, oh, I don't know what my purpose of life, I cannot really help people, I don't know what I'm doing. What my suggestion to that is really live your life. Like, really live your life, because this is all planned. This is all, have a blueprint, have a plan, have an agenda to achieve. So, you have a purpose as a soul. And then you're going to come down here and really fulfill that purpose. So, you cannot fulfill that purpose without truly living your life. Like, dealing with the happiness, dealing with the obstacle, dealing with sadness or, anger. Really, we carry this for a reason. And I hope I can explain that with you guys later. But we have to really being, and really learn to live a life. Then we will actually, that journey will eventually bring us to where we plan for ourselves as a soul. So, that's a question that I continue to think about a lot too for myself is, what do I want to die as, and how do I want to be remembered? So when I start focusing on that as my goal, I realize I'm willing to push myself a little bit further to overcome my own fear. I'm willing to make that extra step. So I was saying, instead of, getting stopped by all those difficult life that we deal with, as childhood, as upgrowing and things like that, I would say, in order to fulfill your life is live a life. Live a life and then have your goal guide you. So if you don't know where you are, figure out what that goal is. Figure out who do you want to be as when you die. How you want to be remembered. because that sensation most likely will guide you toward it, and then, bring out the potential in you as a soul, and then will eventually make you fulfill your purpose of life. So anyway, what I try to say here is purpose of life in my definition is not something you have to do for others. It may somehow, some way during the journey of you seeking for yourself, you might come into place you just happen to help others, but the other element should never be the goal. The other element should never be the goal of your purpose of life, such as making tons of money. That should not be your goal, because, again, bring back to what I was just saying, you have to remember, what is it that is something that I can bring it with me when I die? So that is something I would say, if you ever question, ever doubt, think about that again, and then just, if I have an option, if I can erase your life altogether and say, give you a piece of white paper and say, now write down who you want to be, how you want to be, how you want to live a life, and then just start deciding it for yourself. If it was all in your hand, you can decide what kind of person you're going to be. Disregard what you experienced, what kind of difficulty you're dealing with before. Start rewriting your story. That's what I would suggest. No matter how old you are, it can be 5 or it can be 50. It doesn't matter. You always have a chance to start from now. That's what I would try to say. And the moment you start, the moment you decide to start, you will see how everything come together. The help will come together, or the thing will come because that's what the universe does. What they do is they simply there to help you, push you a little bit to reach that purpose of life of yours. So you cannot reach your purpose of life without living your life. So yes, that purpose can be to love, to feel love, to be love, or anything. But, as I say, figure out what it is that you want, what kind of life you want to live in, and, live it. Just really live it. When you deal with obstacle, don't get defeated by it. Just understand that is simply a universe throwing you a test to make sure you really want it bad. But if your mind is focused and you know that's something you want to do, don't get defeated, because you know it will always be there waiting for you. So anyway, I hope that can sum it up what the purpose of life is. Purpose of life is what a soul decides to do for themselves as a soul. Something they can carry, something they can gain, something they can bring with them when they die. So I hope that answered the question, and tomorrow I would tell you what's task of life. Yes, we have a goal, but it's not smooth sail. We all know from point A to B, we had to have task. Otherwise, we get nothing, right? So tomorrow we're gonna talk about task of life, and today we hopefully give you guys an idea what the purpose of life really is. So again, if you guys like this, like my Facebook, I will have a link under, or subscribe my channel, or join us in Periscope, or you can always go to my website at ruowen.com. And till then, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.